Thank you to our music director, Jamie Passman, for today's music, and as always, to our tech crew, Alex and Jean. I am also so grateful to Katie McDonald, who is running things in the RE department today, so I can be here. I know that you have all opened and thoroughly read your news and notes, so you already know that there are some wonderfully fun and tasty things happening at church today. After the service, be sure to buy up some vegan treats at the Worldwide Vegan Bake Sale. All proceeds of the sale today will be donated to Catnap from the Heart. And when you've had your share of treats, stay for our annual Beltane Festival, including the dancing of the maypole, and that will take place outside on our lawn. And we're going to also have a special announcement from Nancy and Steve about our upcoming spring auction, Club 152.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Kranz, and this is Steve Trout, and we're part of a group that has been planning the May 20th Club 152 fundraiser. The group also includes Susan Mooney, Darren Howard, Julia Beckman, and Jim Danbury, along with the wisdom, guidance, and hard work of Pam Fodor. For those who have never been or have forgotten how this kind of event works, we will have a catered dinner followed by a silent auction that includes the generous donations of many of our congregants. Donations like games, parties, or dinners at their homes, book-related items, taxi service, and more that can be viewed on our current catalog, available via the link on News and Notes or the UCH website. Many events allow several people to sign up, so this is also a community building event. And I want to ask you, if you can, please buy your tickets ahead of time so we know how to order the catering. And now here's Steve.
Yeah, this year's theme is Club 152. It's a celebration of our 152 years of existence. It is a big fundraiser for us. We budget a significant amount of our income through fundraisers, and weren't able to have a fundraiser this fall. We've been very pleased to run a few this spring, but this we're very excited about this event. We think it'll be a great time, and we really hope all of you will attend. And please think about how you might support us with either some sort of a donation or perhaps participating on the day of the event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So just a reminder that everyone here is invited to stay after the service for fun and good treats and merriment. So now please rise in spirit or in body to join us for our opening hymn, 1008 in our teal hymnal, When Your Heart is in a Holy Place. So, my time for all ages today is not a story so much, but something I was thinking about, and on occasion I get to go on special trips. Sometimes I go to other churches or to trainings, or sometimes I'm lucky enough to get to Colorado, my favorite place. And whenever I go, or any time you go on a vacation, you have to pack a suitcase, right? So whenever I'm trying to pack my suitcase, I always have way too many hoodies, I have way too many pairs of shoes, right, Ellery? Yes. And so lots of times I can't get my suitcase closed, it's too full, I have to take out the hoodies, and then I get on vacation, I'm freezing cold because I don't have any hoodies. So sometimes, well, now I'm a lot better, because if you fly on Southwest, you have to try to, get it to fit in the overhead bin. So I'm much better now about deciding what should be in my suitcase and out of my suitcase. So I'm learning how important it is to really, really discern what I need to take and what I don't need to take. And so I think that relates to our journey through life. If we think of that as a special trip, you can think about your spiritual trip and how it's not really different from any other trip that you're taking out of town. You still have to decide what to put in your suitcase and take with you on your spiritual journey. Now, being a Unitarian Universalist may mean that your suitcase is a little bit heavier to lug around with you, because there are so many great things that you want to put in your suitcase. But you can put a lot of great stuff into a small amount of space if you consider carefully what you need the most. Being a Unitarian Universalist is all about choices. No one gives you a list of things that you need to bring along with you, and nobody else can really help you pack your suitcase. It's up to you. So you need to decide what to take with you, and also maybe what to leave out for your trip. And you need to make sure that the things that you do pack fit together with all of your other choices. And that is what our young people have done this weekend, well, over the course of the year, but they're going to share with you what is important for them to put in their suitcase to take on their spiritual trip. The choices may be limitless, but the best part of being a Unitarian Universalist is that those things that are most important to you, your essential supplies, may not be the same as those of other people traveling with you. But if you're friends, you might be able to share what's in your suitcase. So, thank you for joining us here today. The older kids in grades 2 through 6 are going to stay with us today so they can hear from our youth. And the little kids are going to go across the way to play, and Susan's going to take you over. So thank you. I think the words are good. I don't, it's okay.
I invite you to settle into your seats, rest your feet on the ground, and take a deep breath as we settle into our time of meditation. Leave aside the little thoughts that distract you, for this place, like all places, is a holy place. And now, like all times, is a holy time. Join with this community of seekers, and together in this moment of silence, let us find what brings us joy, what we are grateful for, and what we need to bring us peace. If something is weighing or dancing upon your heart, you are invited now to come up and light a candle. For all those other challenges and joys that remain in your heart, know you are held in love.
Jennifer McCracken. I am so thankful for the mentors and the leaders that have guided our youth in the coming of age. Thank you.
I'll light a candle for all of our young people, including my daughter, who are away at college, or even here still in college, facing finals in the next week. Anybody else? Oh, yay, Mike.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mike Ferrando. I'm just lighting a candle for the youth who went through coming of age this year. They all did a great job.
Say your name.
I'm Becca Snoffer, and I'm lighting a candle because it's great that we can have coming of age in person this year.
The final 3 candles for any joys and concerns that remain in your heart today. So every other year we have this Coming of Age Sunday. The youth amaze us with their faith statements, but what is really important and what I've never really shared is how the youth get to those faith statements. So, what is coming of age? Many cultures and religions mark the transition from childhood into youth. And it's always around this age, 12 to 14. There's a reason for that. During the middle school years, people experience a burst of growth unlike any they have seen since they were babies. And it's not just physical growth. At this age, youth can reason about themselves and the world in a deeper way than before. It can be a very spiritual time. Ancient cultures often had coming-of-age rituals where mentors would swoop in and kidnap youth in the middle of the night. They'd be physically taken away from their families, sometimes for months, where they would be taught the adult skills and knowledge that they'd need, and they would be tested by their mentors. When the children were taken, the families often cried and wailed at the loss. But this was the ritual that they were familiar with. These rituals allowed the parents the chance to mourn, and it gave them time to prepare. It was understood that when the youth returned, they would not be the same as they were before. Now, do we sweep in and kidnap our children? No, we do not. Because I firmly believe that church and families should work together for faith formation. But we do take our youth away several times during the course of the year. And we incorporate 4 main elements of these ancient coming-of-age rituals into our program. These elements are enacted ritual, mentored learning, practical testing, and community celebration. Throughout our time together today, I'm going to share with you the components that make up our program, and you will hear from some of our participants as well. So we will start with ritual. It's the foundation of church life. It's the drama which brings meaning to the things that we hold important. We light our chalice. We share joys and sorrows and light candles. We hold water and flower communions. Our coming of age program has a ritual as well, and we call it the Chalice Circle. We introduce it during the beginning of our year retreat, refer to it during the year, and bring it back at our Wilderness Journey retreat. The Chalice Circle highlights 4 substances that we use as tools to help the youth examine their lives and help guide them towards becoming a whole and balanced person. Our substances are stardust, which represents the birth of us and all new beginnings. It guides our exploration of redefining relationships, meeting our mentors, and guiding our beliefs on a higher power. Coral is a substance that relies on a myriad of other things to help it survive. So it represents our community and our interconnectedness. Coral guides our lessons on the meaning of a covenantal faith, rules to live by, and how to explain Unitarian Universalism. A geode is an ordinary rock on the outside, but contains beautiful sparkling crystals on the inside and represents inner life and our inner truth, guiding our studies of faith, why bad things happen, and searching for and finding our own truths. And finally, a fossil, representing our ancestry and where we are going, leading to exploration of after-death beliefs and the completion of a faith statement. Our rituals keep us grounded and remind us of our UU faith. Secondly, our coming of age program is mostly a time of mentored learning. A mentor with the ability to share appropriate skills and offer an expanded worldview is a key aspect of our program. Very young children will look towards the adults in their lives to know what to believe. As our youth come of age, we encourage them to look inward and to start deciding for themselves what they believe. The mentor's role is as a guide and a confidant. This mentor can provide a safety valve for the youth to test theories, new personas, and new ideas, or to address concerns about past beliefs. During our time together in this program, we don't want our youth to parrot their parents' thoughts or to tell us facilitators what they think we want to hear. We want them to really explore their thoughts, beliefs, myths, and conflicting ideas that they are wrestling with as they grow and mature. An adult member from this community is a sounding board for deep thought and reflection. I have asked Liz Reyes, who is has been a mentor for many years, to share a little bit about her experiences.
Good morning, and thank you, Pam. So, as Pam noted in her introduction, a mentor is a guide, a confidant, and a sounding board. And I've had the good fortune of being a mentor, I think 3 times. When you said every other year, I was thinking, how many times have I done this? So mentors listen, we encourage, and at times we share something relevant or maybe helpful, but we always keep it short and to the point. No long stories about yesteryear. Being a mentor means stepping back so the youth can lead the conversation and share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Mentors are there to ask, why? What else? Tell me more. And sometimes, have you thought about it this other way? Or can I tell you a quick story about how I approach this problem? I love to hear what is important to our youth and what is on their minds. It could be school, friends, sports, music, art, movies, the state of the world, the future, and so on. I always learn something and hopefully contribute something as well. So before I end, there's one more thing I want to say. So when I'm a mentor, I always want to talk to the parents after I meet with the kids, but I never do because it's breaking confidentiality and it's just like not something that the mentors do. But I really do want to go up to them and say, your child or your youth is so funny, they're interesting, they're smart, they're artistic, they're thoughtful. So consider it said now, since I'm not a mentor right now. Our youth are all these things and more, and it's always an honor to spend time with them, and I highly recommend being a mentor if you ever get the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz, and thank you to all the mentors through the years. I always forget, I think, is this the 8th time? Mike's my date keeper. I think this is our 8th group, so we've been doing this for 16 years. And we've had over 20 different members over the years, and some of them have worked with multiple mentees like Liz. So if you've been a mentor, would you please stand so we could recognize you? We are so incredibly grateful for all of the guidance that this community gives their youth. And so now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit to join in honoring our choral substance and to celebrate our mentors and mentored learning with hymn number 1021, Lean on Me.
And we'll do the first two verses.
Sounds good. Good thing I turned the microphone off before it was. The third component of our program is testing. In traditional cultures, testing was done by the community. Usually the whole community was present for a part, such as the reading of the scriptures in the Jewish traditions. Testing should never be comfortable. When a test is too easy, it becomes meaningless. It should be structured so that the youth are motivated to be successful. The importance of guiding the youth out of their comfort zone and asking them to be reflective is the key to the long-term effects of our program. That is how each youth produces an individual belief statement. All year long, we have asked them difficult questions, and in doing so, have allowed them to firmly embrace their individual values and define what is truly important to them. We will now hear from two of this year's coming of age youth. Each youth wrote a faith statement. Each one is unique, and together, these statements celebrate the diversity of beliefs that make our Unitarian Universalism religion so rich. So first off, we will hear from Gray Hopkins. In second grade, Gray wrote a faith statement, and it was, "I believe that everyone should be fair to each other. I believe that we should always be nice so that we don't make other people feel bad." And what's really cool about Gray's faith statement is that it mirrors a lot of this second grade faith statement. So, enjoy.
I believe that morals should be based on what hurts or does not hurt people, not mindless rules with no reason to them. I believe that when you die, you do not wake up in a different body. I believe that people should do good things out of their own goodwill rather than doing it to escape punishment in this life or in another. I believe that everyone should vote in laws or rules rather than a single person who thinks that they know what is morally right or wrong. I believe that you should help those in need whenever possible, for they are just as good as you, just put under worse circumstances. I believe that everyone should be allowed their own opinion and beliefs, but should not push said beliefs upon others. I believe that everyone should be treated equally, no matter their beliefs, ethnicity, race, gender, or anything else. I believe that animals should be treated with kindness, and if they are killed, their bodies should be used for food or resources, rather than having them be killed for sport. I believe that people should be given a second chance in life, and be allowed to learn from mistakes, rather than just being punished for them. I believe that no human should purposely kill another human. I believe that what you do in this life does not decide what will happen to you when you die, but even so, you should do good things, for doing good things makes you and everyone around you feel better.
Now we will hear from Maeve Mccracken. Maeve's second grade faith statement was, she's laughing, "The most important things to me are my family and planet Earth. I like coming to church because I like meeting new friends and listening to music. And to make the world a better place, I will walk or bike instead of taking a car, and I'll not throw my trash into the woods." Maeve?
Okay, so it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. When we were children, they asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up. our answers were things like astronaut, president, or in my case, a princess. When we were 10, they asked again, and we answered a YouTuber, a rock star, or in my case, an astrophysicist. But now that we're grown up a little bit, they want a serious answer. Well, who knows? This isn't the time to make hard and fast decisions, but it's the time to make mistakes for anyone. Walk all day till the sun goes down, fall in love, change your mind, and change it again. Because nothing is permanent. So what do I value? I value being a kind and caring person and being respectful. But I also value being clumsy, going out of my comfort zone, and getting lost in the moment. Because no one truly knows or can grasp the concept of what happens after death or any of those hard life questions. So what I value most is living the moment. Thank you.
Pull myself together. So that is one test that we ask of them, is to write a faith statement. And believe me, it doesn't come easy to them. They really do have to think about it. And so I challenge you to think about what your faith statement would say. And then the last test that we give our youth is participation in a wilderness journey. The essence of a wilderness journey is time alone in nature. Spending time alone outdoors is a powerful thing, especially in our plugged-in, turned-on, full-tilt society. It gives our youth a time to think, time to dream, and a time to simply experience the world. It is a wonderful opportunity to meditate, a chance to look at their life goals, and it is a test of how comfortable they are with themselves. By the way, we don't allow them to bring their phones. At the end of the wilderness journey, each youth debriefs with a council of elders made up of that year's mentors. This, too, can be considered a test. Sharing with others is a life skill, and it can feel intimidating. The council, of course, is kind and supportive, and they discuss the wilderness journey and the coming-of-age experience. The council concludes by welcoming the youth into the larger congregation as a peer. I've asked two of our youth to share a little bit of their experiences on their wilderness journey. So, Becca, do you want to go first? Okay.
Hi, I'm Becca. I'm a freshman, and I did coming of age 2 years ago on Zoom. And it was a very different experience, so I'm kind of glad that we can all be here together for Maeve and Grace. I've always struggled to explain to my friends what being a Unitarian Universalist means. It's a hard concept to grasp, and most people don't really get it unless they're here. Part of coming of age was working on how we could explain that to someone. And what makes the most sense for me is explaining this event, coming of age. I tell them to think of it as important as a confirmation, because it is. Coming of age is really what highlights what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist, which is having a church community that allows you to explore what you believe with full freedom and full support. Being in the woods for a few hours by yourself is a great time to contemplate all the questions and for us to think if anything has changed in the past 2 years. Having a year by yourself to ask these questions is what makes personal growth and coming of age possible. I was upset that my coming of age was on Zoom, but I'm so glad I was able to go through the program and also go to the wilderness retreat. So Maeve and Gray, we're so proud of you. Good job. And everyone else, thank you for being a part of such a wonderful church community. And I hope you understand how important coming of age is to be a part of this church. Thank you.
I should say that the last coming of age group's time together got cut short because of COVID. And I kept promising them, like, in 2 weeks we'll go on the wilderness journey. In 2 months we'll go on the wilderness journey. So finally, 2 years later, I invited them to come with us on this group. So Becca was from last year's group, and Ellery, who's going to speak now, is also from last year's group. So, Ellery.
The wilderness retreat taught me many things. There are a few small things, like remember to wear bug spray so you don't get a tick, and to never under any circumstances bunk with Raphael ever again, because he snores extremely loud. Very, very loud. But it also set aside time for me to look deep into myself and find out things about me too that I didn't really know. And I'd say my most important takeaway from the wilderness journey is that it's okay to be by myself. And I've always been surrounded by other people, whether it's friends or family or my teammates. And being alone in the woods for 4 hours is a changing experience, and I've found that I need to set time aside in my life to just sit with myself and my thoughts for a while, away from distractions, because it was nice to be away from school and the pressure of everyday life. I know it sounds silly as a teenager to say that I have a lot of pressures on my life every day, but it's hard being a teenager, especially now during a pandemic. So I'd like to thank Megan and Mike and Pam and the mentors and all of my peers on the Coming of Age Wilderness Retreat, because it was an important time for me to figure out things in life that I didn't really have time to sit with before.
Thank you for being brave enough to share, and thank you to Maeve and Gray for struggling with your thoughts and sharing with us today. It is an ultimate test, believe me. And finally, our last component of the Coming of Age program is a celebration. The whole community acknowledges the newly admitted members of the community and honors them for their achievements. So please join me in affirming Gray and Maeve, if you two would please come up. I guess I'm surprised. Oh, you know what? Stand on this step. And then I also want to invite up Raphael and Ellery and Becca and Ben. And Brianna's over babysitting, so she's not here. But they joined us on the Coming of Age retreat this weekend, like I said, to finish up their program. Oh, okay, thanks. You guys could scoot together like you like each other. Okay. So please join us in this Rite of Recognition.
Please raise your hand in blessing and joining us at the end and repeating, "You are not alone," 3 times.
We recognize you as our own. We celebrate your growth in body and in spirit. All people are journeying. We celebrate your start into the journey that will be the rest of your life.
We care about you, and we love you, and we promise to keep you in our circles.
We cheer you, and we will remember that wisdom travels a 2-way street, that we can learn as much from you as you can learn from us.
The members of this church welcome you into this great circle of community.
We want you to know as you continue on your journey towards adulthood, you are not alone, you are not alone, you are not alone. Congratulations and blessings to all our coming of age youth.
Now is the time we take the collection for the financial support of our church and its programs. Please join me in saying our offertory words together.
Oh, there
There's the. All right. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, with people around us, and with the world. I'm sorry. The offering will now be greatly received. Thank you for your generosity.
In our moment of gratitude a few weeks ago, I thanked Mike Ferrando for his work with me in coming of age, and he wasn't there, but he is here today. So, Mike, thank you for being my partner in crime. Mike and I have had many late nights and early mornings together. Before we close our service today, we have one more special gift for Gray and for Maeve. Maeve keeps giving me this look like, quit embarrassing me. So come on up. We have for each of you, as we have done for other coming of age groups, a care shawl. This beautiful shawl was knit with intention, with positive, caring, healing, and happy thoughts for you. Then the care shawl was blessed by many hands in a simple ceremony at a gathering of the care shawl group. This shawl has been knit in pattern of 7 stitches. Each grouping of 7 is to represent our 7 UU principles. Gray and Maeve, may you feel surrounded by caring. May you be encouraged and know that you are loved and in the hearts of the members of the Unitarian Church of Hinsdale. May you wear this shawl for warmth of many kinds. Maeve just said she tried to knit one in 4th grade. Are you still working on it, or? Oh, no, it's gone. Oh, please join us in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, This Little Light of Mine.
turn it on. Please join us in our coming of age, closing words to extinguish this chalice. Let's find the words. That's not the right ones.
It's okay, we'll say it.
All right. May faith and love and hope for community keep us ever growing and changing together. Peace. We have called in this world, we are called to honor diversity, to respect differences with dignity, and to challenge those who would forbid it.
We are people of a wide path. Let us be wide in affection and go our way in peace. Blessed be.